Gamescom is here and we saw 3 types of footage: the 50-day trailer, the Kefla battle, and new demo gameplay with lots of new characters. Here's 15 key features I found in the gameplay. While editing this, I have to add a quick disclaimer that I can't use some footage for a few points, but I've tried my best to explain the reasoning anyway. It mostly should make sense. First up, we have some changes and fixes to Buuhan's moveset. In Tenkaichi 3, if you are on the ground or close off the ground and used his Super Ghost Buu attack, it doesn't connect to the opponent and blows up early with 0 damage. This hopefully is an easy fix in Sparking Zero, but I haven't seen any demo gameplay trying this out. There's also some graphics updates with the ghost using Kamehameha or Masenko instead of simply blowing up. His chocolate beam has also got a lot of buffs. This is his max range in Tenkaichi 3, but in Sparking Zero it has a lot more range. The speed of the move is also a lot faster than Tenkaichi 3, so it'll be harder to dodge. One more crazy thing I saw is this clip where Vegeta is approaching Buuhan and he uses chocolate beam, but notice how it actually drains Vegeta's ki bars, which makes it an amazing move. However, in this Piccolo clip, he doesn't lose any ki, so I'm not sure if this is a bug in the demo or if it's intended to be like this in the final game. Next, we have Frieza fighting Future Trunks, who uses Finish Buster on him. Frieza actually uses Super Perception and has a unique animation where he deflects it with his iconic kick that was in the anime many times. It's also directional and lets you deflect and destroy buildings with it, which looks great visually. Mecha Frieza was shown briefly too, and he's actually using his ultimate Supernova, which looks like this in Tenkaichi 3, where he charges it up in the sky. It looks like they've changed it so that he first charges it up with his fingertip in front of him and then he'll raise it to the sky and throw it. So all the Gohan forms have had some changes in their movesets and animations. Super Saiyan Teen Gohan in Tenkaichi 3 had Super Masenko as a Blast 2 and Super Kamehameha as his ultimate. But in Sparking Zero, he has a new ultimate called Raging Masenko. This looks really clean and gives a reason to actually play him, as people would often just skip to Super Saiyan 2 instead. Super Saiyan 2 Teen Gohan has a new Blast 2 Super called Explosive Rush, replacing his Energy Wave volley, but unfortunately I couldn't find any gameplay of it. I think what they've probably done is used either Soaring Dragon Strike or Quiet Rage, or even both, because they showed him using them in the Android trailer. Ultimate Gohan also has a change in animation for his ultimate Burst Rush, where he'd slam them down and then use a Kamehameha in Tenkaichi 3. In Sparking Zero, he punches them away instead of slamming them down. However, in the trailer, it looks like his down smash has the slam animation instead. It's confirmed that Ginyu has functional body change, where you can directly swap bodies with your opponent, but there's a few key details to the ultimate. Notice how Ginyu here has 2 health bars and 0 ki bars, and Vegeta has 3 health bars and 3 ki bars. After the move, you actually swap your health around, which seems really OP if you have really low health and then swap. The disadvantage though is that you both can't use any supers, so it's melee only, but this can work to your favour if you're good at purely fighting. The body change beam also has insane tracking, which bends around and homes in, so it'll be hard to dodge for sure. And the final detail is that on the win screen, you actually revert back to Ginyu and do your regular win animation and not a cutscene with the swap body. Imagine how funny Ginyu vs Ginyu will be. It's going to be multiple body changes used and you're both locked out of supers, so the best melee fighter will come out on top. So the producer of Sparking Zero actually did multiple interviews where he provided some exclusive information. First, he talks about further unique grabs and animations in Sparking Zero. For example, Ultimate Gohan has a special throw against Super Buu, which looks like this in the anime, and Super Saiyan 3 Goku has custom Super Perception against Majin Buu, deflecting his Kamehameha with both of his hands. The next part of the interview confirms for some scenes there will be special endings depending on the outcome of the battle. This is a returning feature from the Tenkaichi 3 story mode where certain battles had alternative fights. When you play a story mode battle, a symbol to click R3 would often appear at different times throughout the fight. You can either choose to finish the whole fight without clicking on it, or you can click on it at different points. Here's some of the cool special endings from Tenkaichi 3. If you fight Raccoon for long enough with Goku, the button will appear and Nail will help you out. In the Cell games, if you lose the clash and get hit by Kamehameha, Mr. Satan will appear. In the GT Saga, when you fight Baby Vegeta, if you become Super Saiyan 4 and drop to your last health bar, then Pan will show up. And my favourite of them all, if you fight Broly and drag the battle out long enough, Max Power Master Roshi will come out to obliterate Broly. And the final useful part of the interview is to do with the 100 missions ultimate battle mode and the character select screen. Unfortunately, he does confirm that the character select screen UI will be close to the final version, which does kind of suck because it's kind of cluttered and boring compared to Tenkaichi 3. He does say that there will be filters at launch to help navigate pages, which is my main concern because right now you have to do a lot of scrolling through transformations. I hope they can do something like Raging Blast 2, where the transformations are selectable squares after you click on the base character. Mission 100 from Tenkaichi 3's Ultimate Battle Mode was 100 unique challenges which eventually lead you to Super Saiyan 4 Gogeta. I'm assuming the other modes, Sim Dragon and Survival, will also be removed because of bonus battles, which is disappointing because he states it won't be 100 fighters. Super Vegito was once again shown in this trailer, but he's actually got some new changes. This is Vegito's Big Bang attack from Tenkaichi 3, and this is the one from Sparking Zero. If you haven't noticed the difference, the Sparking Zero one is actually a beam instead of a straight energy blast. This move is actually called Big Bang Flash, which is actually a variant of Big Bang attack used by Super Vegito to destroy Super Buu. Super Vegito also has a change to his ultimate where they swapped Beam Sword Slash to be the ultimate instead of Final Kamehameha. Personally, it's a bit disappointing for me because in Tenkaichi 3, Beam Sword Slash was such a good rush super to use, but we'll have to get used to it. Spopovich is in the new demo and his ultimate Majin Buu Resurrection features Yamu as a supporting character, which means two good things. This is good news for Babidi to return because he has a unique mechanic connected to this ultimate. Assuming Yamu isn't playable, this means they're still making models for non-playable characters, so Babidi's Rush Supers could still feature Pui Pui and Yakon. This also kind of confirms that tag team ultimates aren't in the game, as I saw some ideas that this could be a Whis and Beerus tag team ultimate, but it's most likely just Whis' ultimate with Beerus in the cutscene. This is backed up even more because Goten's ultimate, Double Kamehameha, involves Trunks doing a Kamehameha, but Trunks wasn't even picked in the team, so it's just a cutscene feature. So this one is a very subtle change, but in Tenkaichi 3, have you ever played in certain stages and sometimes you're in a corner and you literally can't see anything because it's being blocked by the wall or stage surroundings? Well, in Sparking Zero, they made it so that you can actually see through the barrier and not just a silhouette, so you won't be disadvantaged by your surroundings. I'm sure you know already, but Super Perfect Cell is now a separate character and you can no longer transform into him like in Tenkaichi 3. But the other Cell forms also received a few changes. Imperfect Cell's ultimate, Unforgivable, was originally a rush ultimate in Tenkaichi 3, where if you tracked and connected with the opponent, then your ultimate will guaranteed hit and do full damage. But in Sparking Zero, it's no longer a targeting rush attack, and it's similar to Super Explosive Wave, where you have to get into close proximity and unleash it. This means it's now technically guardable, or if you're good enough, you could vanish every hit and receive 0 damage. Perfect Cell's Barrage Death Beam got quite a heavy nerf too. It now consumes 3 key bars instead of 2, which was absolutely broken in Tenkaichi 3 because you could use it over and over again as it replenishes very fast. It also doesn't have the same impact as Tenkaichi 3 as the opponent no longer falls down even if the entire barrage hits. This makes potential combo setups weaker, such as Giant Throw into Barrage Death Beam or Barrage Death Beam into either Dash Key Blast or Flanks. Lots of characters have some changes to their Charge Key Blast attack, both graphically and mechanically. Cell now has a Charge Key Blast animation where he just throws it out of his hand regularly, but in Tenkaichi 3 he would put his arm to his shoulder and then throw it, which looked way cooler. Buuhan has the same thing, where it scatters into 5 parts instead of a single charge attack, which is interesting because in Tenkaichi 3, Buuhan's charged ki blast was a single attack, but Buutenk's charged ki blast became a tri-attack if you fully charged it. And finally, they ruined my boy Kid Buu's charged ki blast. This is him charging it up and releasing it, and look how long it takes to charge and then finally reach the enemy, who actually dodges because it's so slow. Compare that to Tenkaichi 3, where Kid Buu is known to have one of the best and fastest ki blasts in the game. They even removed his signature animation, where he charges it and chucks it over his shoulder. Overall, this is a problem in Sparking Zero, where they're removing unique features of characters and making them more generalized, which will make it feel like everyone plays the same repetitive way. Speaking of Kid Buu, he also had a few more changes to his moveset. His Blast 1 Super, Sleep, now costs 4 skill stock, which is an extra 1 more compared to Tenkaichi 3. Nano tried to use it here as he goes from 4 to 0 skill stock, but notice how he fails because he gets interrupted by a ki blast and he permanently loses all of it. I discovered this in Tenkaichi 3 by accident, but even if you fail to get sleep off, you still keep your blast stock, so Sparking Zero is a lot more punishing with your moves. His Super Kamehameha is now no longer pink like in Tenkaichi 3, and is blue in Sparking Zero, which is anime accurate because only Majin Buu had a pink Kamehameha. And the last points are to do with the exclusive Kefla vs Ultimate Gohan battle. Kefla fires her Blast 2 Super Crusher Cannon at Gohan, and he actually uses Super Perception to deflect it away. Notice how he actually gets a stat buff from this, and this one is a boost to his ki power, similar to Vegito's high tension boost. Here's another clip of Super Perception where Yamcha destroys Tri-Beam in the air. He gets the same stat buff, and this isn't Explosive Wave, even though it looks similar. In the Ultra Instinct Goku vs Goku Black fight, Ultra Instinct Goku uses Revenge Counter, consuming 2 skill count, and Goku Black preemptively uses Super Perception, waiting in a defensive stance. Once Revenge Counter lands, this triggers a custom cinematic and uses 4 whole skill count in a counter. As you can see, he got no stat buffs, so Super Perception only gives a buff against super attacks. The final point is about the Kefla fusion, where Kefla powers down from Super Saiyan 2 to base, and then fuses with base KO, but she becomes Super Saiyan 2 Kefla instantly. This isn't an unusual thing because in Tenkaichi 3 you could do different inputs to transform straight away, and in Sparking Zero you have the fusion panels to scroll through. However, in Tenkaichi 3 certain characters had different requirements to do fusions. If you pick Goku End and Vegeta second form, you only have the fusion options if you stay in base form. If you transform to Super Saiyan 1, 2 or 3 with either one, then you can no longer fuse into Vegito or Gogeta. However, for Goten and Trunks, even if you become Super Saiyan with either one, you can still fuse and become base Gotenks, Super Gotenks and Super Saiyan 3 Gotenks. So I actually have a theory with Kefla and KO. I think that the fusion requirements are strictly based on the anime and manga forms. Goku and Vegeta have never fused in Super Saiyan before. They're always in base and then transform, so it makes sense. Goten and Trunks have done both base and Super Saiyan fusions before, so they can do either one. Kefla and KO in the anime are in their Super Saiyan 2 forms when they're fused to become base Kefla. So Sparking Zero should have the same requirements carry over, but unfortunately I haven't seen any demo gameplay of in-game fusions apart from Gogeta. But Goku and Vegeta were in base there, so I can't verify if you can't fuse in Super Saiyan. Let me know your thoughts on the Gamescom gameplay and who's your favourite new character shown. Hopefully there'll be a Buu Saga trailer next week with new reveals.